Hello, everybody. Good afternoon and good morning or good evening, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for joining me for another session today. So, I wanted to talk about the Red Tuesday, what I call the Red Tuesday, because I don't subscribe to the usual, everything bad is black and something like that. So, I would rather say red because it was a Red Tuesday for me. And since the event, there have been talks of going and coming. So I thought that I should just do an interactive session about what happened there, and let's talk about it. And yeah, in the end, the question is it going to be business as usual for President Buhari and his chief of army staff, Buratai? Since the beginning of this regime, we have seen unprecedented disregard for human life and human dignity. And yeah, is it going to be the same like always? Are they just going to get away with it? So I wanted us to talk about this. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me. And if this is your first time of joining me, I hope that you subscribe to my channel. My name is Blessing, and you're welcome to my Blessedom TV. Welcome. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening. I don't know where you are coming from. So, if you like to add to the conversation, you can always write me on this number. So this is meant to be an interactive section, and you are welcome to add your own thoughts and opinion. Um, yeah, so the number to call, one five. Good day, good day. You're welcome, Andrew Okafor. You're welcome, my brother. Plus 1 1 5 2 2 7981 593. So this is my number. If you want to add to the conversation, you are free to call. So, my people, you know what happened. It's outrageous, it's unacceptable. And we know that the military has been this, very, very vicious in the way they have gone against individuals, in civilians. I mean, it has like it's not as if this is the first time it's happening in Nigeria. The record is there. Remember what happened. I don't want to go even as far back as the war, the Biafran War, but we know that, for example, during President Obasanjo's time, there was also the incidents of OD, and then they deploy the soldiers there, and we all know what happened there. The records are there, and then we also know during the President Obasanjo time there was something about Zaki Biam and what President Obasanjo did there, and they sent the troops in, and what happened, and we have seen what is going on in this regime. At the beginning of Buhari's regime, we know that they said some protesters or these Shia people, they were having a procession. We know what happened to them and how they viciously went against them, and you know that they even went as far as going back, like after dealing with them at that place that the thing happened, they went to their house to look for them, and decimated them there. Like they just dealt with them, and later on they continued to deny. We remember then there was a lot of protests, and a lot of people who were actually progressive, the people who were who are part of this SARS now, at that time they didn't see the bigger picture, that this is a crime against humanity. You don't do this. You don't attack civilians like this in this manner, and you are the military. You are supposed to protect the people and protect the integrity of the people. Oh, the topic is what actually happened during the Lekki at this Lekki Toll that we're talking about. Since the Lekki incident happened, there have been talks going up and down. For example, President Buhari didn't even talk about it. He gave a speech, like something of this magnitude happened on your administration's watch, and you didn't even address it. The people have been protesting for like 2 weeks. Nothing happened. They have been peaceful, and Lekki Toll was one of the most peaceful places that this protest was going on. Like it was the most peaceful part of this protest. There were no infiltration, even at that location. They were, almost like a carnival is what they were having there. They were eating, sharing food. They were being friendly with each other. They were not even differentiating between Christians and Muslims at that Lekki Toll gate. We all saw the videos of all the harmony and the cooperation that they showed at that Lekki Toll gate. And there was nothing like anybody infiltrated that Lekki Toll gate. It was peaceful up until the time the military came there. Nothing has been heard at that Lekki Toll gate. So when the military swooped upon them, we saw the videos. It was real. Some people did a live transmission of what was going on and sent word out. And then people were talking about what has happened. International media were upon it. Okay, Buhari, come and talk about it. He refused to talk about it. And when he even came out to address the country, he didn't mention it. And he didn't mention it because, one, if he mentions it, it's going to be like, okay, you are the chief of armed forces. So you sent your troops to go and deal with peaceful protesters, and he's going to say, no, I didn't do this. And then they will say, okay, so you didn't do it, so it means you are not the one running the country. You see, so it means it's the military that is running the country, because if you don't say that you are not the one that sent the military. So he decided not to talk about it. But later on, he now came and said he avoided any debates because they are still gathering the facts. And what are the facts that they are gathering? As things stand now, there are people actually doubting that something that happened before this social media generation is false. I know that there are people who may have put up some past videos or old something, but that doesn't deny the people that it happened to. It was live, and they are there. And the president and the state government, they are denying what happened there. They are denying that it was the soldiers that came there. So I just wanted to go ahead, first of all, and show you the video of the DJ Swift. I know maybe you have seen this video. It's all over the place. But this lady was very consistent. Right from the incident, she was there. She was there live. And she, was the one that took it live on Instagram. And she has also put out another, live video. She did another video telling people what happened on that day. So I want to play that video that she she made telling the events from her own side.
I just want to thank everybody for the support, for the well wishes, and thank you for your prayers. Thank you for joining us in the struggle at the toll gate.
Let me start again.
I just want to thank everybody for the support, for the well wishes, and thank you for your prayers. Thank you for joining us in the struggle at the toll gate, for sounding the alarm, and for alerting the public. I thank you for witnessing what happened at the toll gate. Most importantly, my brothers and sisters at the toll gate. I've never met a finer set of people in my life. I'm sorry I haven't said anything in a couple of days. I didn't realize I'd sustained some injuries, and I had to get treated for that. I especially want to thank a few people who, at the risk of their own safety, came out to get me as my own life was being threatened. My life was being threatened for speaking up, and thank you, Obi, thank you, Big N, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Thank you to Heath, Breeze, Richard. Thank you, Mr. P. Thank you all for getting me out safely. I don't want to talk too much. I just want to clear a few things that I've been saying online. To our leaders, I urge you, please, do not minimize the suffering of families. Do not insult the grief. Do not insult the grief of Nigerians. Do not insult the intelligence of Nigerians. Do not insult the pain that families are facing. People were falling left and right. Yes, there were soldiers there. Another part that people are not really talking about, the police also came. The SARS people were talking about, they also came. So maybe 40, 45 minutes after the soldiers left. We were tear gassed. Tear gas is like pepper, right? It's like Cotonou pepper mixed with acid. It's like we were running. This what they call it, our coconut hair generation. We would run, we would come back, we would run, and the only thing we fought with was our flags. We would sit on the floor and raise our hands up, waving our flags and singing the national anthem. That's all we had. They put off the lights. Even if there's no power on a good day in that axis, there's always light at the toll gate. There was no light. The lights were off. The street lights were off. It was pitch black. I'm sorry. A boy jumped on me and was shouting, "Cover her, cover her." I didn't even understand why he did that. They shot that boy on my back. I fell, and while the soldiers were trying to pick their shells, we were running around and picking their shells too because we wanted proof. These are some of the shells we picked. This one I call my own because it's landed right next to my ear. This one was one we took out from someone's lap. The military, they were there on Nigerian soil, killing Nigerian citizens. The police and the SARS-like people came doing the same thing, aiming and shooting. Aiming, not they were pointing the gun at us and shooting live bullets. It takes live bullets to protest. Who does that? So to our leaders, please, I urge you to please not insult the intelligence of Nigerians and the families. Something I think about now in hindsight, just I wish we hadn't done it, but we carried dead bodies and dropped at the feet of the soldiers so that they could see what they did to us. When I asked the unit commander or something, why are you killing us? I wish we didn't do that. I wish we kept the bodies because they ended up throwing the bodies in their van. This was up until the next day, the next morning. Anyway, I wanna thank Mr. Ola, who is the manager.
So what she's basically saying is that because she was there at the Lekki Toll gate on that day, and she was in front and she witnessed it, and she said that there is no question about it. The military was there, and not only the military, the police were there. And she said the military open fire on them, on the protesters. So it's not like them say, she witnessed it. And she's also saying that they were aiming at them, not even like they were doing it up. They were aiming at like they are pointing and taking aim at particular people and releasing. And again, that when they were protesting, they gathered some people who fell, who have already given up, and they said, look at what you have done. Look at, they brought it to the feet of the soldiers, and the soldiers now took those people and put them inside their van. Like if they knew, they would have gone home with it. This is her own narrative. This is what happened. Now, why would anybody try to discredit and deny something like this? Like, we saw the video. I've shown that video in my last live stream of how the military came there and what they were doing. You understand? I've shown that video in my last in the last stream that I shown. They walked up upon the people and just like, this is so brazen. This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable that something like this can happen. I'm going to show you a little bit again, this video that I'm talking about, where the soldiers came upon them. I think I've got that video. Yeah. So it is not in question that they came upon them, you understand? But what I don't understand is why they are denying it, and now they even have people that are talking for them, even some celebrities, some like, I don't understand this. Why must it be that normal people will be always the people that will be speaking in favor of something like this? So who is going to be the defender then? Yeah. So I'll just want to show you this video now. Let me just reduce the volume because this is the military here now. I hope you can see it if it's clear. You see, this is the ground where they were. I hope you can see it. Because it's in the night. So they just went there. They just walked upon them. You see, they just walked upon them, and this is a crowd-filled place. This is the military. It's not like they say. This is the video that we have. That was coming from that place. So The military have said that this video are doctored, but there are also people who said forensic evidence shows that it is not true. Like this one, you know, like this is a military person sitting and aiming also, and we can hear the voices of the people at the background. So they have also said that this one is not I don't know, they said this one is also doctored. So these are the videos of what happened that day, my people, you understand, like the videos that is out there in the public sphere, what happened. So then there are also those people who said, yeah, they were there wrongly because there was already curfew, that there was already curfew, that the governor has said there's curfew. That means they are not supposed to go out until 4 p.m. But I have also this audio that I would like to play for you. This audio where the governor of Lagos State was saying that the curfew was actually delayed. You understand? So I will just let you hear what he has to say.
That was declared at about 10:30. Straight to the point, you knew there was a curfew that was declared at about 10:30, 11 in the morning, and the curfew was meant to start at 4 o'clock, right? So at the first time, which was there's meant to be total lockdown, and people are meant to disperse and be at home from 4 o'clock. That was the instruction that was broadcast. So at about 6 o'clock or thereabout, several appeals. When we realized that the Protestants at the Toll Plaza were still there, there were several appeals, from civil society, some of the parents, that we should extend the curfew time because some of them are insisting that, well, they want to go home now, or they don't want to go, but that we should just extend the curfew time. And so we graciously, communicated thereafter that, the curfew will be extended till 9 p.m. before we get the security operatives out. So those were the communications that were out, and those were the communications that we passed on to a whole lot of the security operatives. But I think at about 7 o'clock or thereabout, there was a small unit of the military that now went there, and we heard that gunshots were fired. Initially we couldn't even believe it because we thought, no, people were not meant to be there, as in security operatives are not meant to be there till around 10, 11, so why would anybody be there now?
Well, the army said it wasn't there. Was the army there or not?
I think the footage shows that they were military. I think the footage shows that. I wasn't there myself, but I think the footage, some of the things people got on camera showed that they were.
Why is the army denying it then?
They don't report to me, and I wouldn't know why. The instructions were that they shouldn't be there until around 10 p.m. Right, so I think there must have been some miscommunication somewhere in their own formation, because what we hear is the unit that went there, their location is less than 10 minutes from where the incident occurred. It was actually just straight down the same road. 5 minutes from their barracks, they actually could get there. So I don't know who gave those instructions. I don't know how they missed the information that was passed on. So,
but just to be clear, you're not saying that people should have been opened fire on because they disobeyed the curfew, are you?
Absolutely not. There are no instructions to that effect. They couldn't have been given. I'm not party to that. I would never instruct people to open firearms on Protestants whatsoever.
How long can you maintain this curfew? At the moment, it's set for 24 hours, isn't it?
Well, no, that's the first instance. The whole city it's really open. There's a lot of destruction this morning. There's a whole lot of, so I don't know for how long, but we would be reviewing on a daily basis.
There's a lot of disruption, you say. How would you describe the current situation?
Yeah, it's very tense. It's very disturbing. It's extremely very tense. It's a very, very unfortunate situation we found ourselves. We made every effort, and the reportage was clear over the last 4-5 days, to get the Protestants to join the panel of inquiry, to get the Protestants to form some conversations on the table where we all agree that the points that they've made are very clear. All of us are in support of it. but we needed to move the process of now ticking the box. We needed to move it forward. So those were some of the efforts that we have consistently made. I've been appealing, to them that there's a whole lot of livelihood of people that have been disrupted. People could not access their businesses. We're just coming out of a pandemic. I mean, businesses, daily wage earners, there's no way they could get to work. Yes, you have all of the rights, and we've accepted, and we're with you on this. But please, let's draw some timelines and let's give peace a chance, so that we'll give government some time to be able to implement one. I think it was just only one item that was on their ask.
So my people, like you have heard the governor of Lagos State, he is the one in this audio, and he was saying that at the time that the military was there, they were not supposed to be there because the curfew had not set in, because he first of all put the curfew at 4 p.m., but there was a lot of call coming in and telling him that people are already out and about, that it would be unwise to put in a curfew when people have already left their houses. And so he now changed the curfew to begin at 9 p.m. And so if there was going to be any measures to try to control the people and make sure that they are obeying the curfew, it's supposed to be after 9 p.m. So, and there was no reason for anybody or any security person to be there at that time. And by that, about 6 p.m. when they went there. So this is what the governor of Lagos State is saying at that point, So in between, President Buhari, at first, when they asked him, when he gave a press press conference about what happened, this governor of Lagos State also said there was no casualty. That means there were some people who were injured, but none of them, gave up. So at the end of the day, he retraced that statement, and now he has said, two. But there have also been people who are saying people should come with, comfort if they lost somebody. But we hear the other lady who was there saying that the military made away with the people who were there. And there was also a video in the hospital where they were showing people who were victims and they were being treated. And the doctor also said some of those people who were injured have given up. So there's also this video of one of these people that was in the hospital that I wanted to share with you. He's still receiving treatment and he's still in the hospital. And there's this man that has this Cocoon Foundation. He does a lot of good. He helps people. He gives money, and And he went to the hospital, to this very hospital, to visit them. And there was this video that came out of that visit. I wanted to show you this video to give you some perspective.
The soldier at Lekki,
So this is the man there, and the one on the yellow vest is the one that is from the foundation.
They say I have to go and take X-ray. I have to take X-ray so that they can trace it. The soldier at Lekki, the soldier Olona shoot me there. So they take me to different hospitals. They retest me. Then before I was lucky, they received me here. And they tell me and I'm alive now.
I'm so nice. I'm grateful for I was told that it's free. Yes.
Thank you, my brother Olawumi. Thank you.
They told this here so that the blood that is on my chest, they can bring it out. And that is what is passing through this pipe. Yes.
And I believe that Nigerians will support you, and I believe that they'll do their best. They'll support you, and I will do my best.
I thought I decided my blood was just pushing out like pump. I only I never knew I was still alive. So thank God for this. Thank you, sir. My name is Nicholas Anthony. All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So these are one of the casualties. I mean, the people who were there who sustained injury, and he said that they were not even accepting them at the different hospitals until he was lucky that one of them took them in. So what am I saying in essence is this is too much for the Nigerian government and the Nigerian elite. Every time something of big magnitude will happen, because they are not the one directly involved, they will try to cover it up. Ekele o, ana m ekele gị. You're welcome, Jerome. Good morning. Good morning. So anytime something happens, they are the ones that will be covering it. They will be saying, Fulani, the Northerners, the Northerners. But let something happen that you can actually want to have some kind of accountability. They are still the one that will be discrediting the people, Like we have seen this meme that is going on now that Fashola went there and found a camcorder. Like, they said they have cleaned that place. And first of all, when crime happens, they're supposed to cordon that area off and until investigation. But they didn't do any of that, at least to my knowledge, I don't know. And they cleaned that place up, and then after all these days that they have cleaned that place, people are, cars are running and all those things, then Fashola came and found a camcorder there. So a lot of people have been using it to make fun of him, But I find this disheartening that every time something happens, it's still the Southerners that are going to be, helping to push a false narrative to stop any kind of litigation that can even, this is something that the international community are looking at. And this thing happened in the generation of social media. It's not the time they say, your word against mine. People had devices. And then why did you put off the light at that place? Why do you come upon the people like this in broad daylight when they have possibilities to go live and show what is going on to the whole world at that time, live? But they still threw caution to the wind and came out brazenly, like as if they were at the war front. And I think this is really, really callous. And then, Tinubu, he's the former governor of Lagos State, and Fashola is the former governor of Lagos State. And for them now, it's more important to stand in support of the governor of Lagos State, in the person of Sanwo-Olu. So Sanwo-Olu has come under immense scrutiny. And he is taking all the blame and all the heat, and actually taking the heat away from Buhari and Buratai, because Buhari, this stops at his desk, really, because he is the chief of armed forces. He is the chief commander. And if he gives order before, it can take place in a local, in a state, because Sanwo-Olu does not have control over the Nigerian military per se. So I don't know why they are trying to take the heat away from Buhari, because this administration has been very, very callous and inhumane. Like, we saw it the way they dealt with the share people. Everybody clapped at them and said, why were they there? Why did they block the army? Just because that they said they blocked Buratai, we saw what happened. And then we saw what happened to the IPOB. Up until what happened to the Shiites, I always, I bought that narrative that, they are against us, they are against only us. But when what happened to the Shiite happened, that even the Shiite, they were Northerners and they were Muslim, and even though they are from another, like another denomination of the religion or something like that, but the way they dealt with them up north there was like an eye-opener to me that, we just bought this narrative that South and North and West, whereas when it comes down to it, the elite, the ruling elite, are actually one tribe. And if you come out to face them, however, wherever, whoever you are, they will deal with you in the same manner. And if they could deal the way they dealt with those northerners, because at that time they were dealing with those share and putting that Ezak in jail and doing all those things, you will not hear anybody say, oh, Christian, they are Muslim, we have to stand together as Muslim. Like, you just hear everybody keep quiet. But once they are done with that, we saw what happened with IPOB, and the people were just demonstrating. We saw how they came down very hard. We saw the brutality, Operation Python Dance. We saw Operation Crocodile Smile in the South. We saw the brutality. And some people may want to explain it away and say, yeah, they told them not to go and all those things. Two wrong does not make a right. You are the military. You don't have any right to shoot at protesters, especially who are not armed. But this has been a repeated something in Nigeria. This is what they do. This is how they operate. And when I started talking about this IPOB something, I was actually talking about it in the sense that we know how ruthless these people can be. Don't fall into their hands. Look for another way to go about your intentions and whatever you want from them. You don't go and confront people who have shown themselves to be vicious like this, and they are going to come upon you regardless of your ethnic group. They are going to come upon you regardless whether you are Southwest. And after that, what happened with IPOB, we saw that they said there was some people who were drilling oil, some young people in Okitipupa, in Ondo State. Do you know that they use helicopter? They use helicopter in Ondo State. People forget quickly. People don't remember. They think it's because they are Igbo and they're because no, they show their power against civilians. They use helicopter on people, in Ondo State. I was shocked, and they were, spraying from up. I don't know if anybody of you remember, and this was in this administration. And as if that is not enough, now we now saw a group of people. You can't determine their religion. You can't determine their state of origin. You can't determine their tribe. You can't determine anything about them. But they were just united because of the pain and suffering that they are going through within Nigeria, because of bad government, because of police brutality, because of injustice. They were united because of this problem and because of these grievances. Regardless of their religion, regardless of, you still came there and opened fire brazenly, in broad daylight. Like, I personally, I didn't even see this one coming. Like, how would you know? Like, normally I felt that they always go to pockets of where it's happening and quench it. But like a combination of all the ethnicities, all the regions, all the languages, all the religion, they came together and they were standing there, and you still have the audacity to release the military on that kind of. So this is to tell you that we are dealing with a ruthless bunch who believe that they can get away with anything they are doing, and they are like, they know that, or something, like they have that confidence that they are going to get away with it. This is why they come out brazenly like this. And the worst part is something that was captured, they will say is a lie. They will just change the narrative. Look at Buhari, is not even talking about it. Then after much pressure, he now released some statement that, not even mentioning that Lekki Toll, but just kind of as a result of the protest. And he said that they were emboldened. Like, who talks like this? Who behaves like this? This Nigerian government. So this Buhari and Buratai combination, they have shown a very, very vicious combination of power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. My brother, you are right. He said this act of Buhari has emboldened other African leaders to do the same due to a weak international response. Boys of Cameroon had school children killed okay, I don't want to read this one out here. So yeah, exactly. Really? In Cameroon, wow, I didn't even know. I mean, like, I read it, but it was too. I didn't want to just look into that news that something with children. But what I'm saying in essence is, how long are the whole of Nigerians going to allow something like this to continue? You see, because they have kind of divided us most of the time. Everybody is thinking along their ethnic lines, and the elite are thinking about their political ambitions and their profits and, securing whatever they have stolen, everything that they have. This is the interest. So at the end of the day, the people are standing in limbo, and you see Nigerians have gone across all over the world, protesting, even here in Germany, even in Hungary, everywhere you can mention, Nigerians have gone out to protest. But you see that real politics I always talk about. Real politics is people doing what they want to do, world powers doing only something when their interest is at stake. So as long as their interest is protected, they don't care about you or your children or everything that happens to you. So how long is this impunity going to go? How long? Because now this is just to say we can deal with you however you like it, wherever you gather, in whatever capacity. We have it, we will deal with you, and nothing will happen. This is what Buhari is showing us. This is what Buratai is showing us. And this is what the governors, the journalists, and the celebrities, everybody that is coming out to deny and push down the narrative of the people who survive, the people who are bereaved. This is outrageous. So I just wanted to put this video out there to say we know what happened. It was a red Tuesday, because I like to say red. People don't know that Dangote is implicated in the Lekki. So one of our brother here is saying that Dangote is maybe has a stake in that in this Lekki toll gate, because that's where they are passing through to take all his equipment for his refinery. So of course the protest was holding back all his profits or all what he stands to gain. You see. So it's always about profit. It's always about their self. So, and just like people were gathering momentum, we are saying, oh, for the first time, Nigerians are coming together regardless of their tribe. What do they see? They still use the same tribe to instigate the whole outcome. They use the same tribe to say, oh, they want to remove our northern governor, so president. So northerners, you should stand together. And they gave the northerners order to go and infiltrate the protesters in Abuja and attack them and just cause commotion. And the evidence was there. We saw people who were like DSS dressed in black, in suits, and unleashing this hoodlum who they put in their cars and brought them to the scene of those protests. So we saw that it was evident that they were desperate to cause a commotion again, to kind of destabilize this unity they saw amongst the youth. And then who do we have? Enter Nnamdi Kanu. He started to hijack the whole thing and make it about himself and his, and then before enter, what is his name now? Adeyinka grandson. So you see the tribal division coming in again. But we must never forget that at that toll gate, when the military came upon that place, they didn't know who was Igbo. They didn't know who was Yoruba. They didn't know who was South, North, East, West. They didn't know. All they knew was that these people united and standing here is an affront on us. It's an affront on our leader, the people they are standing for. Obviously, they are not standing for the people. They are fighting for the politicians. And these people here are a threat to what the politicians stand to gain. And they had one goal: to push down the people and discourage them and make them go home and teach them a bitter lesson that if you try this kind of thing again, this is what is going to happen to you. This is all. This is all. But at the end of it, they will still interject that tribal sentiment. So at this time, President Paul Biya, wow, that is, yeah. And that Biya, they've been trying to remove him for long. He has been there for like generations. I don't know. I don't even know what gives them this boldness. Because when you look at it, most time we like to say colonial masters and colonial, the way the colonial people treated our people and everything that happened, And sometimes when I've seen all these things that our leaders are doing, and I'm wondering, could it be that they learned from our people how to deal with us? Because this brutality, or did they learn from the colonial masters? Like is this like some kind of neo-colonization? Doing what the colonial masters would do, like during the time, maybe people who were revolting against whatever was happening, this was how they would brutally squash them. Is it what is going on? Then is it that Buhari will just go away with this thing like this? So, a lot of people have been talking about Tinubu, the Jagaban of Lagos State, because he has a stake in this present government. Actually, he's the APC. APC is the party that is in government, and he's the party chairman or something like that. So, people who are angry about this government also kind of try to put their anger against Tinubu, even though he's not holding any political party, or because a political position, or because he is the leader in that party. They kind of push their grievance to him. And I've learned that he's also aiming to be the president. I don't know how true that is, but I just wanted to show you what he has to say about what happened at the Lekki Toll gate. I think it's good. Yeah.
We would like to know why you are here, and there is this rumor that you are in London, you are in Paris. When did you return?
Break your question.
First of all, why?
Break it. Why am I here?
Number one.
To commensurate with the governor and sympathize with those victims through him. Seek his permission to visit some of those victims if they are still there in the hospital. Since he made the announcement to assume the responsibility for payment and others, how can we do and what can we do to help him, to give the support to those who are hospitalized in the first place? And equally to ask him, pointedly, did they order the attack? Or if he didn't order the attack, who ordered the attack? Was it to his knowledge that people were attacked? That's all I needed from him.
Going forward now, I mean, you've seen him, you've commiserated with him. I'm sure he must have given you a mental picture of the level of wanton destruction of public and private property and cases of casualty and fatality, if there were. What's the next step going forward for you, for all well-meaning people of Lagos who would want to support? Because I heard the governor say something like, this is really going to be tough. In a year, we have had to reduce our budget.
Now, first, we have to segregate the calendar. Those who suffered casualty before the protest from the hand of SARS, you have to separate that from those who suffered casualty.
You're right. But
you
even that, you will still hear what he has to say at the end of the day. He will shoot himself in the foot.
For those who suffered from that, I think they set up the Commission of Inquiry that is already set up. We unearth that and we make their recommendations. I trust with the kind of caliber and characters of the people there, they are independent. That is one. Those who suffer casualty during the gunshot, needs to answer some questions too. How are they there? How long were they there? What kind of characters are they? Even though we want to help, we see must extract information that we help the government to prepare a future or understand how and when to react. Because the government, the governor in particular, is a youth. This is not what we inherit. Okay? They are youths themselves, they are himself. He quickly went to Abuja with a fight for 5. The government immediately put into action, dissolved his hands. Okay? And they had to walk through other recommended action, the need they demanded. Within few days, he reported back to the public that he has been. We saw on television. He delivered the message to the president. The president didn't say no. The president gave him an appointment within a few hours. That's responsive enough for people to go down. But where are we? Getting the looting, the carnage, the burning, the invasion of a police station, and the stealing of arms, and maiming the innocent. It's a handshake beyond the elbow.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, sir. Sir, we were told that you were in London, you were in Paris. When did you return?
I didn't go nowhere. I'm in Lagos. And I still hold the title of Ashwaju of Lagos. And I'm still a Jagaban. Well, whatever they think, fake news is all over the place. They say Sheyi, my son, was kidnapped. He was chased out of. You see, look at him.
He's not in London.
Listen, man.
I have to be sure that it's not photoshopped.
I didn't pay a penny to bring him here. Maybe governor will give me pocket money for this. It is all a joke.
So what Tinubu, like, what he's saying is mixed messages. On the first hand, he's commiserating with the victims and saying the nice things, but on the other hand, he's not saying who are they, what time were they there, what character were they, questioning the integrity of the youth, basically. It's the power that they have over the people, and the wealth and the importance they have accumulated over the years, over the people. And yeah, you are right, the whole thing is now a mess, and the opposition like, it's like the opposition is almost like the ruling party, because you don't even see the impact of any meaningful opposition. The opposition in my opinion, I think that the opposition are actually using divisive elements like Kano, and some other people like that, that whip up enough sentiment. But or I don't know, or maybe the opposition is like, there's no really opposition, because of course they don't have any underlying ideology in the politics that they are playing. They don't have anything they believe in. They don't have anything that they don't believe in. They don't have any moral guidance of the kind of politics they are playing. So somebody is an opposition until he's given an appointment, or until he's offered a position, until he gets a share, and then he switches before the day breaks, for COVID-19. Wow. That's it. They are just looting, and you see, the one that they gave them, the relief, that the palliative, they call it palliative, that was given. They didn't share it, and the people had to go and look for it. And even in the process of that, now even some individual warehouses have been affected. But I was actually wrong. You guys, I told you people that the North, they share their own. Obviously, they didn't share. Every one of them didn't share their own, because so far Adamawa and have found their own warehouses, and they have, in fact, when they looted the one of Adamawa, they even looted, like they took the doors and the roof also, like it was like not just food, everything takeable they took. It was just only the brick that was left in that place. You would talk like they took everything of that place. They have found the one of Kaduna, and they also attacked some political establishments there in Kaduna, and took their properties away, and also they say NAFDAC, like that is the National Institute for Accrediting of all this food stuff, to make sure that they are safe, safety and security of food and drinks and stuff, and medicine. They went there, they took also their grains, their food, and all those things. Everything that was written COVID-19, because they were written COVID, do not for sale. And people have taken it, and now that have even come out to say that those things were expired, that people use it, that they are going to be affected by it. The same thing, some governors have said that they were storing it for a second wave, a possible second wave, and all those kind of a thing. But obviously, Northerners are also finding that. And in Jalingo, Taraba State, they've also found their own. They took everything, like even the post to say this is Jalingo. The same thing they took from Ekiti State, like the signpost that is written on it, something like for you to know where you are, a landmark. They took everything. So I just feel demoralized. That's what I would say. My spirit has not been really high, because when I think about how they get away with these things every time they go and deal with Niger Delta. So you explain it away and say those Niger Delta people, they know the real what this one. They go and deal with those Igbo youths that are aggrieved and protesting, regardless of why they are protesting. At the least you can arrest them, you can put them behind bars for a few days, or reprimand them in one way or the other and let them go. But we've seen this high-handedness. They killed their own people, and we saw it. They did it also in the north. They did not mind that they were also Muslims. They were also Northerners. They dealt with them mercilessly and ruthlessly. We've seen it in the southwest, the way they went ahead against all those people who were, they said they were drilling oil or something like that, that they were refining petroleum, illegally refining petroleum. We see how they went there and dealt with them mercilessly. And now we saw that, like you could say, oh, they are dealing with Yoruba people. I remember when that incident happened in Ondo State, that Adeyinka grandson was actually whipped up because of that video, and he made a lot of things about it, and he was angry. It gave him a lot of things to talk about. I'm not even against people going their separate ways, because obviously things are not working well. But it breaks my heart when you see the people from every region doing the opposite what you expect. Something of this magnitude has happened, and it's supposed for you to allow the blame to go to where it's supposed to go. Don't stand in the way and be trying to mince what, if you say it happened because forces beyond your control, let it name the forces, because it's only the federal government that have the possibility to unleash troops. then let him. Don't speak for the same people. Be for your own people. Don't speak against your people. Don't question the character of your own people that you're supposed to. If people gather to protest, it is not in your place to come and be defining them. And we've heard hoodlums, miscreants, tout, all this kind of name, just to discredit whatever they stand for. This is, this breaks my heart. Like, where is the solution going to come from? Because they don't show any moral consciousness that they actually know what they are doing, except for the greed of what they want to benefit. It's really in a bad way, my brother. And he said no one has risen to the challenge. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like here in Germany, we are preparing for a second lockdown. The mood is down. Like everybody, like we don't even know what is going to happen. They said the thing is coming in some parts of Bayern, in part of this Germany. They have already gone into lockdown. So we are almost at the edge of a lockdown, but the government is saying it's going to be introduced gradually, like it's not going to be. But we don't know. So like now, people have started storing up food. The uncertainty is so much. We don't know what is happening. And what are these people doing? Trying to secure their political position. They don't care about the people. They don't invest in the people. And when people arise to make their complaint, they tag them hoodlums. I don't know what gives them this mind to call people hoodlums. You steal everything from the people. You steal their education. You steal their money. You steal their health. You steal everything that they have. And when they turn around to say, oh, look, we don't have anything to eat. We demand, we have a right to education. We don't have food. We have a right to quality health care, just like you. You can fly out and have it. Then you turn around and call them miscreants, hoodlums. I don't know, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. There is no need for you to, condemn people like this. You listen to their grievance, and they keep saying that they listen to their grievances and they attend. But this is not the first time this question of SARS was coming. They always say SARS. They have stopped them. They should stop on the road and all those things. But you see the activities continuing on the road. And SARS is just one part of it. You still have the soldiers carrying on impunity the whole time. You still have the regular police doing their stop and search and doing their things the whole time. So, but this SARS was going after the elite, they were, of course, or maybe the people they say that they are Yahoo who are into fraud and scam and stuff like that. But how many, how many? But you can imagine that most of these politicians, most of the elite, that their children who are young, visibly have maybe no source of income, that they are using high end good, they look posh, they look clean, they look. So these are the things that is attracting SARS, especially. That is just not a problem for the poor regular people. It's a problem also for the elite, because when they're on the way with their Lexus, the SARS comes upon them, so it becomes a problem. So I was hoping that maybe they can, lash on bad governance and run with it, or, bad regime, calling out the regime of this Buhari and stuff like that. But, it is sad that they can just be quenched like this, regardless of this unity that they try to bring forth and try to rally themselves around on one point, and that everything will just go cold so quickly, and everybody will begin to question what happened in a time where there was social media to show what has happened, and that they will question it in this manner, in this brazen manner, that they would disregard the lives of the people and disregard the grief of the families who are in grieving for the loss of their people or their family members. This is the height of, I don't even know the adjective that can fit this, but I don't know, but I feel that it's just a matter of time. I think this is an eye-opener, how vicious these people can be, and that nothing is going to come out of it, that the elite are always behind them, that the people you would think that they will try to, stand for you and say, no, 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 this went too far. They will try to take the hit even for them. I don't see any reason why Sanwo-Olu will be answering anything that should go to the presidency. I don't understand that. This falls directly at the feet of the presidency. So yeah, he's the governor of the state, and he did what was responsible. Like he said in the audio, he said he called for the curfew at 4 p.m. But calls came in and said people are already out, and that it was unwise to put a curfew when people are already out. It would be better to extend the curfew, and he did that. I mean, he responded. He did that. So maybe you can fault him and say, who put up the light at Lekki? Who he could have, he could have kind of stopped it if he wanted to. But this is this collaboration we see among the elites. You see, anything that will, stop the whole political process or endanger the political process because it's just their own lucrative means of livelihood, they will fight together. They will fight together. That's just what I'm seeing there. And we saw also, for example, we saw in the Southwest that when they found the palliative, people were going to get it. But when they found the palliative in the Southeast, they set out police, and a lot of people are falling casualties. They didn't even let them take the palliatives, even though the people have found it. They still set the police and the military upon their own people. But tomorrow they are going to be the one to tell you that where your problem is. But you see, like we hear that some people also lost their life trying to get this palliative from these governors. So sometimes the whole thing is just so messed up. You don't even know who to like. There's just I just feel that this whole thing is just so hopeless, and it just kind of demoralized my spirit. My spirit has just been down, and I just plus all this lockdown and no lockdown, everything is threatened at this point of time. At this point in time, even your career, your work, your means of earning money, everything is threatened right now. I hope, he said that they are just Tundara, he said they are just shameless, but the people have seen for themselves now, and things can't be the same. This is my hope. I don't know where it's going to come from, but I hope that something will just give, something will give. Like I saw a northern youth actually talking about something, because at this point now, the northerners have still been held down on this religious and ethnic mantra. So I saw this video and I thought it was interesting. I think I'll share it with you before I leave. There was this guy, he's a northerner, of course, and he was saying something very interesting. He said when Jonathan was there, and everything that was happening, that there was a lot of call. They were calling out Jonathan and saying, look at he spoke it in Hausa, but this is just what he's saying. Yeah, I remember he spoke it in Hausa, that this is that they were saying they are killing the Muslims, Jonathan is using the military. But now that the President Buhari is there and Buratai is there, all the military chiefs are Muslims and are northerners, everything is still happening and nobody's talking about it. That are they not killing them again? So yeah, I don't know if you will understand.
Minister of Defense ba musulmi bane dan Zamfara bane. Malaman za su hauka mun bane. Yau din nan da Minister of Defense ba musulmi bane dan Zamfara bane. Malaman za su hauka mun bane. Kowane juma'a sai sun dinga faɗi a canja a cire arne ne yana kashe musulmai. To yau musulmi ne. Me kuka faɗa game da musulman da ake kashewa Zamfara? Talakawa ne ko? Good luck ba abin da ku faɗa ba. Ana kashe yana sa a kashe musulmai. Ina adalcin mu yake? Ba mu ce shugaba da kashe musulmai ba, amma me yasa ba ku yi magana irin wancan ba?
So what he's saying is that when Goodluck Jonathan was there, they accused him that he was killing the Muslims. But now the Muslims are in power and they are still killing the Muslims. Even in Zamfara, they can't even go home. So why are they keeping quiet about killing the Muslims? So I think that for now, the southern youth have awakened, And I hope that at some point, the northern youth will begin to be awakened to see this scam that they are using them, because I believe that the northerners are more, because that they have already radicalized them, and they have offered them the least. They have stolen everything, even their dignity. And I think if they can join this uprising against these notorious leaders who use religion and ethnic bigotry to hold them down, that will be a really step to move forward. I don't really speak. But I just understand a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, what he's saying, I don't speak Hausa at all, but I understand Yoruba because I lived in Yoruba land. Yeah. But this video was already interpreted. That's why I was able to know. I have a friend who lived in Zamfara, so she's the one that explained it to me. But I personally, I don't speak Hausa. Yeah. Actually, there was this song our priest shared with us on Sunday. It was The Blessing. Although we sang it in German, but it was so touching. And I said, oh, I'm going to look, do we have it in English? And actually, it was in English. This song is so powerful. I would really recommend this song to you guys. This is a very trying time. If you're a Christian, if you believe, or I don't even think you have to be a Christian to listen to it. The blessing is about this prayer that's from Aaron in the Bible, that that is being said every time at the end of a sermon. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May His countenance shine upon you and give you peace. Amen. It's normally said at the end of every prayer, every church service. I mean, if you went to the normal, regular Anglican, Catholic, and something, but I don't know how it is in the denominations. Yeah. So I would really recommend that you check out this music. I mean, it's so powerful. The Blessing. I'll put a link of this song. It has been really uplifting to me. I've been singing it since on Sunday up on throughout of yesterday. Even my children were like, "What is this?" And they are just saying, "Amen, amen." So when they don't know the words, but they saw that I was singing this song all this time, and they just kind of sing with "Amen, amen." So I'll put a link to this. You see Nigerians all over the world, protesting and looking for solidarity, and they are not getting it. We see that the Americans are, of course, busy with their elections, so no, they are not interested. And we see that the British people, of course, Nigeria is their cash cow. They are not saying anything. So we see that. Of course, they have to care about the whatever interest they have. We hope that they will be able to, there will be some kind of international backlash on this ruling elite of Nigeria of today, at least, But it's not coming forth. We don't know. This is my hope. This is really my hope. But my heart goes out to people at home right now, and especially because a lot of people didn't even know like there was something that was going to happen, and like they didn't prepare for something of this category, you understand me? So I'm trying to copy the link to this song that I'm talking about. So I will encourage every one of you, if you are Christian, that you can listen to it at this time. It's a very encouraging. I mean, it worked for me. It's soothing. So we'll continue to see how the whole thing is evolving. And yeah, I was wrong about the policies. Actually, I really need to do a video on that and take that word back. And I see that the Southerners and the Northerners at this point are united by hunger, Yeah. So, yeah. So I'll just leave you guys for today and say, may the Lord bless you and keep you. And yeah, may His countenance shine upon you, and may He be gracious unto you and your family and bless you. Amen. Yeah. Thank you, my people. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. I don't want to drag this video too long. I just hope that karma will come so very soon. I know, but we'll see.